Hello friend, welcome back. I'm really glad that you are here. In this video, I will show you after end of this course what we will build. So friend, after end of this course, we will create one complete school management system software with using Laravel latest version Laravel 8, and we will build it from scratch. Please give me some time to explain you what it will be look like. Like here friend, you can see right now that is our login page, and it is a login page that is our username as admin and the password. So here if you click as a sign in, so that is our school management system dashboard, and here they have the lot of the features. So one by one I will show you how much rich course is that and what you will going to learn from this course. Like first of all, that is our manage user. So from to the manage user, they have the two options. You can add new user, and also there is another option for the view user. So if you click as a view user, and right now you can see friend, they have the two type of role. One is the admin role, another will be as a operator role, and then the name, there is an email address, and they have another option as a code, which is very much interactive one of the part. So right now I'm logging with the admin. So if this admin want to create any new user, automatically it should be generated one of the password. Okay, so that is the actually code password. Like if you go to the add user, and from here you can assign that role. Like if you select as an operator, and after that if you select that username as a demo. So right now I'm using as a demo, and I put one of the email address as a demo@gmail.com. so this type of one of the username I want to create, but here I didn't add any password. That means system will be automatically generated one of the password. Now if you click as a submit, now here you can see friend, it's now showing as a user inserted successfully. So now that is our operator rule, and that is the name as a demo, and there is email address, and then that is actually the password. Okay, so right now if you want to log in with this user, here you have to add this email address, and then you have to add this code. Okay, and this code automatically it should be inserted this data into the password field as a bit password. So this password will be automatically generated. How much interactive it is, right friend? And also from here, if you want to edit this user, so that is our edit user. You can, if you want to delete this user, you can also able to delete this user. Okay, so that is our add option for the user. And also if you want to delete it, they have also, I have discussed about that suite alert. So from with this using the suite alert, how can delete it, I will show you that things with the live example. And after that there is another option for the manage profile, and with the manage profile there is a first option is your profile. So if you select it as your profile, and with the profile here you can see friend, it's now showing as a username as an admin. That means which user is logging, this user profile is now visible. And also there is another option for the profile. So that is our this user, that means the logging user profile. So it's now displayed that username, the user type, and then user email address, and then also the images, address, and then the gender and the mobile. If you want to edit this, click as the edit profile. So friend, here I have already discussed about this type of one of the things. When this user don't have any images, by default it should be display one of the new image, and rather than when it should be uploaded, then automatically this image will be uploaded. Okay, so from here there is our username, that is a user, that means that which user is already logged in, this user email address, the mobile, there is a mobile number, the address, and gender. You can select the gender for that user, and also the choose image. And from to the choose image, here I am using one of the JavaScript. If you choose any image, like here right now I want to use this one. If you click as a, or this one, if you click as a open, and you can see when you select any image, automatically this image will be visible in particular that area. Okay, and after that you can update this user. Okay, and then there is another option for the change password. So for the change password also I have discussed about that validation. You can see that is our validation error message is also visible. So how can manage your user profile, step by step everything, I will show you that things with a live example. So friend, as I told you, we'll build one complete school management system software, and we'll build it with using Laravel 8, and we'll build it from to the scratch. And then there is another option for the setup management, and in the setup management there have the so many options, like as a student class, student year, student group, student shift, and then free category, the fee category amount, that user exam type. So everything is actually, friend, interconnected. Like if you go to that a student class, so that is one of the simple code application. Into the code application, you can see there is a class 1, there is a class 2, the class 3, and the 5. So now if you want to add new student class, so if you select it, as a right now I'm using as a demo. Okay, now click as a submit. So then automatically it will be added. That means using one of the toaster message as a student class inserted successful, and you can see that is our student class. So from here, if you want to edit this student class, so with is very easily you can able to edit it. You can see that is our student class updated successful. If you want to delete it, then you can delete it. Okay, then you can delete it, and you can see that is successfully displayed that message as a student class deleted successfully. So friend, there is some of the option which will be related for our this course, and there is a student year, the group, the student shift, free category, and also the advanced option for the free category amount. Okay friends, so here in this course you will learn a lot of the things, friend, and I believe you will like it very much. Like there is another option for the free category. That means the free category amount, and into the free category amount here you can see, friend, it's now showing as a student free amount list. Like there is actually the registration fee, the monthly fee, and exam fee. So everything actually interconnected with our this free category. Okay, and here I am actually getting all that our group by data. Like if you go to our add free amount, then everything will be very much clear to you. Like here with one page you can insert that multiple data. Like you can, from here you can select that registration fee, and then you can see there is a class 1, and then you can also assign the amount, whatever the amount you want to put. So right now I want to put as a $300. Okay, and right now if you want to add that another one for the class 2, then there are the another option. You can see how much interactive it is. So how much interactively you can add that multiple field at a time. You can plus it, and also you can minus it. Okay, that means when you click as a add, then automatically one of the new tab will be loaded, and from here right now you can select that at a time as a class 1, the class 2, class 3, and then class 4 data. Okay, that means the 4 data, and after that if you want to add another one, that will be as a class 5. So from here you can add that class 2 amount. Okay, you can add that class 2 amount, you can use that class 3 amount. So all that amount at a time you can insert it. So when you insert it, then you will get everything. That means all that your group by data will be visible loaded on here. Okay, that means everything will be loaded on here. If you click as the details, and into the details here you can see it's now getting all that our group by details data. That means for the class 1 I have added that registration fee as a 300, and for the class 2 I have added that registration fee as a 600. Okay friend, and also the edit option, and into the edit, like if you want to edit that monthly fee, click as a edit. Now you can see for the monthly fee there is all that our class 1 monthly fee, there is a class 2 monthly fee, and then class 3. Okay, if you want to add new one, you can add it. Rather than also they have the one of the validation, like if you cancel everything, that will be updated. Now click as the update. Now you can see, friend, it's now showing one of the error message as a sorry, you do not select any class amount. That means you have to select minimum one class amount. Okay, so how can add this type of one of the validation? I will show you that things with a live example. And then there is another option for the exam type, so that will be one of the code application. You can see everything actually interconnected, friend. How you can able to create this type of one of the software from to the scratch, step by step, everything I will show you with the live example. Like there is another option for the assigned subject. So from here you can also assign that subject, that is our class 1. So that is all that actually group by data. Like that means class 1 all the data. If you click as a details, now you can see there is all that our class 1 subject wise data. There is a subject, and there is a full mark, the pass mark, and then a subjective mark. Okay, if you click as a add, assign subject, and you can see for the add assign subject you can choose any class, you can choose that subject, you can choose that full mark. Okay, so you can put that full mark as 100 and pass mark as a 33, and then subjective mark I make it as 100. Okay, and then you can also add that multiple one as per your demands. Okay, so how many you want, you can actually add it from to this position, and then you can select multiple data at a time, and after that you can actually insert this data, so that means submit this multiple data at a time in your project. So how can do that work step by step, everything I will show you with the live example. Okay friend, and then there is another option for the designation. That means if you go to that designation, and for the designation, like there is a head teacher, there is a assistant teacher, and there is a teacher. Okay, so from here you can manage everything. There is our student year. If you go to that student year, all that year will be loaded from to this area. There is student group. Okay, so if you go to that student group, so then all that student group will be visible as art, science, and the health, and then there is a free category. Okay, that means if you go to the fee category, so there is a registration fee, monthly fee, and the exam fee. So everything, as I told you, very much interconnected. So that is our setup management, and after that there is our student management. Okay, so into the student management, here also you can see when you select it as a student management, and then our student management will be selected. Like right now I want to select as a student management registration. And you can see right now that is our this prefix as a student management, and you can see our menu is now selected. Okay, so how can update this active link dynamically, step by step I will show you. And then you can see there is our student registration. So from here you can add new student, and that is one of the by default one of the student. Okay, that means the serial number, the student name, ID number, roll number, year, class, and then images of this student, and also the code. That means it will be automatically generated one of the password for the student. Okay, so from here you can create that a student account, you can create one of the employee account. So step by step I show you. Like first of all there is edit portion. So from here if you want to edit this student, you can edit it. If you want to promote this student class 1 to the class 3, and also if you want to promote it 2019 to 2000, how can promote this student, I will show you. And then there is a view details. So for the view details, here I am using one of the PDF. If you click as a view, now you can see how can load one of the PDF format data. So there is our company logo, that means our school logo, and there is a school name, address, and email address, and student details. You can see every data, actually the dynamic data. So it's all the dynamic data, how can visible it with using the PDF, I will show you with the live example. So right now I want to do that is our default one of the data is visible, but right now if you want to search any data, like I select as a 2000 and I just select as a class 1. So right now I want to get all that our 2020 year data, that means class 1, all that is student data. If you click as a search, now you can see friend, is automatically dynamically get all that our student data, which is student as a 2020 and then class 1 student. Okay, and how can actually do that work, I will show you. And also from here you can edit this user, as I told you, you can promote it, and also you can view this user with using that PDF format. So with this PDF format it will be get all that our this student details data. Okay, so PDF is now loaded, and from here if you want to print it, then you can print it, this is student data. Okay, so from here you can actually search it, and there is also the data table. So from here if you want to search with the name, that means the ID number, then you can also search it with that ID number. Okay, so right now if you want to add one of the new, that means the add new student, so you can now see there is our add new student form. There is a student name, father name, mother name, the mobile number, address, you can select the gender, you can select that religion, you can select that birthday. Okay, so you can select that birthday, discount, the year, the class, and every class actually comes from our this setup management, and that have also one of the option for the student class, and also all that year actually comes from our student year. and then all that group actually comes from our this student group. Okay, as I told you friend, everything is interconnected. And also there is a shift. You can see there is a shift A, shift B, and the shift C. So that is our student shift. Everything actually comes from our setup management. So from here you can actually registration for the student. So right now that is our student registration. Okay, so how can registration this user, and automatically it will be generated one of the code, and also this system will be automatically generated one of the ID, that means a registration ID. If you go to that student registration again, and you can see that is one of the ID number. So this ID number actually by default created, that means this system will be automatically generated this ID number. Okay, so how can generate some of the ID number, I will show you. And after that there is a role generate. So that is very much interactive one of the things, like if you select any year, and after that if you select as a class 5, now I click as a search. So right now you can see they have no data, but right now if you want to search it again, like there is our role generate. So now I select as a 2000 class 1, click as a search, and you can see friend, now it's perfectly getting all that our data. That means that is our ID number, that means student ID number, student name, father name, the gender, and the role as a 1, 2, and then 3. And from here you can also assign that role. Okay, you can assign that role. Right now I want to get another data. I select as a year 2020 class 2, click as a search. I have already added, that means roll number. So right now I select another one, class 3, click as a search, and you can see for the class 3 there is one of the student ID number, the father name, the gender, and the name. So right now I didn't update any role for this student. So right now I want to put that roll number for this student as a 12, and I just make that for this student as a 14, okay, or 13. I make it as a 13 roll number. So now I simply assign that role generate. That means this student role will be generated. Okay, so now if you select it again, I click as a 2000 and then class 3, click as a search. You can see it's now successfully updated that role as a 12 and then 13. Okay, so how can generate that role for the student, I will show you that things with the live example. And every student data you will get it from our this student registration, right? So here there is also option for the student. So from here you can actually search any user, that means any student. So now I select it as a 2000 class 3, click as a search. Now you can see this student is updated, and you can see the role is now updated. So, okay, and also you can generate it with the PDF format. So with this PDF format, this every data you can see the student role as a 12. Okay, that means everything is perfectly updated. So how can generate it, I will show you. And then the registration fee, if you go to that registration fee, so if you want to search with the student, like I just click as a class 2, click as a search, and you can see friend, that is the registration fee. And also how can calculate it, this data, there is our ID number, the student name, there is roll number, the registration fee for this student as a 600, and if you want to put any discount for this student, automatically it will be calculated that data, and then that is our net. That means this amount you have to pay for the student registration fee. Okay, and also if you want to add that fee slip, click as a fee slip, automatically it will be generated one of the PDF. You can see there is a PDF formatted data, and now it's visible. Okay, and also calculated all the data, that is all that our dynamic data. So that is our ID number, that is our database, that means the roll number which comes from our database table. There is student name, student father name, the session, class 2, the registration fee as a 600, there is a 10% amount, and then you can see that is our total. After that 10% discount, that is our amount. Okay, so that is totally dynamic one of the data, and that is our student registration fee. Okay, so how can do that work, I will show you. And then the monthly fee. So for the monthly fee, if you select it as a year, if you select as a class, I click as a class 1, and now I select as a January. So now if you search it, now you can see that is all that our monthly fee. That means the ID number, student name, roll number, monthly fee as this amount, and if they have any discount, and then automatically it will be reduced this discount amount, and then you can see that is our monthly fee. Okay, and also there is a same pay slip. You can generate one of the pay slip for the student monthly fee. Okay, how can do that work step by step? I will show you everything with a live example. And then there is another option as a exam fee. If you go to that exam fee, so from to the exam fee, you can choose that year, you can choose that class, you can choose that first terminal exam, second terminal exam, whatever actually you choose. Now you can see it's now generated all that our details. So there is our exam type fee, there is a discount fee, and the student, you have this amount you student have to pay after that discount. And you can also same generated that PDF. Then your PDF will be loaded with all the dynamic data. So that is our student exam fee data. Okay, so how can do that work? I show you. And that is our short description of our student management. And then there is another option for the employee management. Okay, as I told you friend, that is one of the total school management system software. So for the school management, there is employees also much important one of the part. Like first of all, there is our employee registration. So from here you can created all that employee registration. You can generate it automatically this ID. So this ID automatically will be generated. That means if you click as a add employee, and with the add employee, you can see there is employee name, the father name, employee mother name, mobile number, address, and the gender for this employee, that means the religion, date of birth you can assign, the designation you can assign, and this designation actually comes from our this head of management. They have also one of the option for the designation, you can see. So this designation will be loaded, and then the salary. So from here you can add that salary, you can add the joining date, you can choose any profile image, whatever the image you will be choose, automatically this image will be updated. Okay, so from here you can add that employee. So right now I want to that is how I have already insert some of the data. If you go to that employee data, you can see there is all that our employee data, and there is a designation, there is a edit option, and there is also the details option. Like if you want to display this employee details data, you click as a details. And into the details here you can see all that our dynamic data. That means the employee name, ID number, father name, mother name, mobile number, address, every data is dynamic data. And also is displayed that employee salary and the joining date. Okay, the employee designation, everything is dynamically updated. So that is our employee registration PDF page. So how you can generate it, I will show you with the live example. And also if you want to edit it, you can edit this user, and you can see it's now successfully display all that our data, and also for this employee existing image is visible. Okay, so that is our employee registration, and then the employee salary. So from here you can also assign your employee salary, and into the employee salary, if you want to increment, that means if you want to increment this employee salary, you can also increment it from here. Okay, you can see there is an incremented option. So if you click as a incremented, so from to this position you can add that new salary of this employee, and also you can select that effective date. Okay, and also if you want to make it that means if you want to display that details, like if you go to that employee salary, and there is also option for the details. If you go there, then you can see there is employee salary details, the name, ID number. As I told you, automatically it will be generated, this employee ID number. The previous salary is visible, increment salary, you can see it's perfectly visible that increment salary is this one. That means previous was actually 3000, increment salary as a 3000 right now. This employee, that means this employee present salary as a 6000. Okay, and also it's now showing as the effective date. And then there is another option for the employee attendance. Okay, so that is very much important one of the part. So before that, there is also another one as a employee leave. I want to show you that is employee leave, which is very much interactive one of the things. Like if you want to add any employee leave, like as a add employee, like right now that is also one of the most interactive things. If you select I just select this one. Okay, that means the employee name. I want to add one of the leave for this employee, that this leave will be started from I just make it as a 5th, okay, for 2021, and that will be end as a 7. So that is our 7, and now there is some of the leave purposes. Okay, so here if you want to add that leave purposes as a family problem, personal problem, find problem, health problem. So that is already selected. Okay, so if you select anything, you can select it. Rather than if you want to add any new purposes, they have the another JavaScript option as a new purpose. Okay, so right now if you select as a personal problem, you can see personal problem is selected. But if you select it as a new purpose, automatically they have the on the hidden you can see one of the hidden input field is added. So right now from here you can add one of the hidden input field data. Okay, that means you can add new purpose if you want. So from here you can actually add it. So that is a new purpose. So how can do that work? I will show you that things with the live example. So right now I make it as a test. Okay, I make it as a test. So right now they have the family problem, personal problem, friend, and then now I select new one, new purpose as a text. Now click as a submit. Now you can see the employee leave data inserted successfully, and now that is our data. And now you can see there is another purpose is added as a test. Okay friend, how can do that work with using that JavaScript? I will show you that things with the live example. And then our attendance, which is very much interactive one of the things, like that is our employee attendance. You can take this employee attendance by the date. Now I just click as a add attendance. Okay, into the add attendance, like right now I select as a this month. Okay, this month attendance. Now if you go there, I make it as a leave. Okay, that is our I make it as a leave for this student. That means this employee. So that is all that employee list is visible, and now I make it as a leave and leave. Okay, and now if you click as a submit, now you can see it's now showing as the employee attendance data updated successfully, and that is our today's date. And now if you want to edit it, you can edit it. So that is a edit. You can see it's appropriately the same. So right now for at this date, I just select it as a for Hassan 33 as a leave. There's a present and the leave and the present, right? So every data is now successfully updated, which I have taken that that means which I have taken that attendance. So if you want to change that attendance, you can change this attendance as per your demand. Okay friend, and then there is an option. If you go to that employee attendance, and if the employee attendance, if you want to get all that group by this date employee details, now click as a details. Now you can see it's now successfully displayed as an employee attendance details. So for this date, and you can see that is date is the same, and then all that employee name is visible, ID number, and then attendance status is visible. Okay, how can do that work? I will show you. And then there is a employee monthly salary. If you go to that monthly salary, you can get that monthly salary. Like I just select this month wise date, and you can see friend, there is one of the interactive things, like for this employee basic salary as a 6,000, but it's now showing as a salary for this month as a 5,800 because of all this employee that have some of the leave. If you go to that pay slip, into the pay slip here, you can see friend, it's now showing as the employee name, the basic salary, and total absent for this month as a 1 day. For the reasons is automatically actually reduce this 1 day price, and now that is our payable price. Okay, so how can do that work? I will show you that things with the live example. So that is our on the pay slip. So if you print it, it will be print for one of the administration, another will be for the employee. Okay, so I can do that work. I will show you. I hope you understand that part. So that is our employee management, and now there is our another one is a mark management. So from here, if you want to add that mark, that means the mark entity, and for the mark entry that is select as a date, and also there is another interactive things. Right now you can see they have no subject is loaded, but if you select it as a class 1, then this class 1 related all that subject will be loaded. Okay, if you select it as a class 2, then this class 2 related all that subject will be loaded. How can do that work with using the JavaScript? I will show you. And then I select exam type as a first terminal, click as a search. If there have any student, you can see every data is now successfully loaded. That means if you want to put that mark for this student ID number, the student name, the father name, the gender, if you want to put that item, that means the student mark. So right now I make it mark as a he get as a 50. Okay, so this type of one of the mark he get it. Now click as a submit. So then automatically this mark will be updated. You can see that is student mark inserted successfully. So how can do that work? How can search by this option, that is student mark entry, and now that is our mark edit. So if you want to edit it, you can also edit that student mark from to this position. Okay, and then the marks grade. That means if you want to add that mark grade, so that is the edit option. If you want to add that grade, so that is our grade, all that option. That means the grade name, grade point, the start mark. So everything is interconnected, friend. You can see that is all that our interconnected data. That is our A plus, A minus, B, C, D, and the F. Okay. Then also the grand point, the start point, the end point, everything you can manage it from to this position. And then there is another option for the account management, and for the account management you can manage that student fee, you can manage that employee salary and the other cost. Like if you select it as a student fee, and for the student fee, you can see this is all that our data. That means the student ID number, name, year, class, fee type, the amount, and then that is a amount as a December as a this one. Okay, like right now if you want to add that student fee, I show you, like that is very much interactive. One of the things, like I search 2020 class 1, search for the registration fee, and I just choose that month wise this date, click as a search. And here you can see, friend, it's now showing as a student name. That means the student name, the father name, ID number, original fee, and then discount fee, and then that is actually the payable fee. And you can see there is also as selected. That is also as selected. That means this student already paid that student fee. But here you can see this student didn't add that fee for the reasons you can see it's not selected. So right now this student comes to my office, and here if this student paid that amount, that means the payable amount, and after that you can select this one, and after that if you click the submit, then automatically that will be updated. You can see this is well done, data successfully updated. So how can do that work step by step, I will show you with the live example. And same as the same concept will be for our employee salary. So for the employee salary, that is all that amount. If you want to add or edit this employee salary, if you select it, now click as a search, and you can see for this month, that means for this month, this Hassan is already paid. That means the text user salary is already paid. So there is another user is not paid. So right now I want to pay this student, that means this employee. So this employee, the 4,000 amount is paid, and also I select it. Okay, that means everything is now paid for this month. Okay, that is our 12th month. Now if you click as a submit, now you can see it's now updated as well done, data updated successful. And now if you want to search it, so right now I want to search with this month. Now click as a search, and you can see every data is now successfully updated. That means I have already paid at this for this month for this employee salary. Okay, how can manage it from this employee salary? I will show you that things with the live example. And also there is another option for the other cost. That means if you want to add one of the new other cost, you can add this cost. And then most interactive part for the reports. Okay, and for the reports you can get that monthly and the yearly profit that means report, the mark sheet generate, attendance report, the student result, like if you go to that monthly and then yearly profit, that means if you want to get that all that profit data, that will be automatically generated one of the PDF, like there is a starting date and the end date. Click as a search, and you can see it's now getting one of the data. So that is our total profit data for this starting date and the ending date. And you can also generate the PDF as per your demand. So that is you can see it's now showing as a reported date as it started from our 9th December I have selected, and the 17th December 2020. So that is our all that calculated data. So that is our accounts related, every data will get it from here as a month and monthly and the yearly profit data. And there is a mark sheet generate. Mark sheet generate is very much interactive. One of the things, like if you select year, class 1, the terminal, and if you selected the one of the ID number, that means one of the student ID number. Right now that is our employee ID number. I want to get one of the student ID number. Okay, so that is actually one of the student ID numbers. So now I copy it, or rather than, and that is a 2020 one of the student ID number I want to get, class 1. I search it. So right now I want to get this ID number student. Okay, I copy it. Now go there, search with the ID number, click as a search. You can see perfectly it's now generated one of the mark sheet, and that is totally dynamic, friend. Here you can see all the dynamic data. That means a specific this student data is now visible, that is a mark sheet is visible, and that is our total get mark for this student as a 90. When it should be as a 90, automatically you can see there's a letter get for this student as a plus. Okay, so that is totally dynamic one of the part. So how can create this dynamic part, and also you can see remark is automatically updated as a excellent. So friend, how can generate this type of one of the mark sheet? Okay, that is, as I told you, this mark sheet is not that all static data, that is totally dynamic functionality data is now loaded. Okay, so how can generate it, I will show you. And then the attendance report. So from here, if you select as an employee, if you select as a date, click as a search, then it will be display all that details for this user. You can see for this user that is a 12-month all that attendance report. Okay, so how can do that work? And you can see it's also showing as a total absent as a 1 day and total leave as a 0. So how can generate it, I will show you that things with the live example. And then that is our student, that means the student result. So if you want to get that with the student result, you can get it. And also that is student ID card. Okay, so how can generate that student ID card? So friend, here as I told you, that is totally one of the complete school management system, and I will build it from to the scratch, and I will build it with using Laravel 8. I hope friend that is something you are interested in. If you are, then go ahead and enroll this course. I am really excited to see you in this course, and I will see you in the next video.